Nostalgia is a powerful force, able to warp people's perceptions. But you know what they say, you can't go home again. Something that anybody who's tried to watch the favorite childhood shows as an adult can confirm. Sometimes it's best to just leave well enough alone and not revisit the past, as proven by these TV shows that have become unwatchable with age. Full House. If you were like most kids in the late 80s, you were probably parked in front of ABC's family-friendly TGIF block every Friday night. And your parents probably hated every second of it, because Full House's saccharine morality and terrible puns were just flat out hard to stomach.
Remember that sausage and lima bean casserole I made? I called it my Sunday surprise.
We called it our Monday surprise.
I was still getting surprised on Tuesday.
100 terrible catchphrases later,
You got it, dude.
we're reminded just how awkward and unfunny the original show was, especially now that the series' continuation, Fuller House, has gotten past the first season on Netflix.
Have mercy.
Xena, Warrior Princess. Xena, Warrior Princess is mainly remembered for the way it challenged female stereotypes and the discussions that raged over its lesbian subtext. And it also gave the world Lucy Lawless, for which we offer our heartfelt thanks. However, the importance of the show is kind of papered over the fact that it's not actually very good, with iffy production values and clumsy directing. Not to mention random tonal shifts, like hyper-violence suddenly giving way to musical numbers. We'll always love Xena the cultural phenomenon, but the show itself, not so much. Highlander the series. 20 years ago, Highlander the series was about as good as it got for high fantasy. Now, we have Game of Thrones. And once you've seen that, or any other modern television epic, it's hard to go back to Highlander's outdated special effects, repetitive Immortal of the Month scripts, and one-note acting. The show kept telling us there could only be one. Well, this ain't it. Saved by the Bell. While 90 spin-offs Saved by the Bell the College Years and Saved by the Bell the New Class have always been pretty unwatchable, the original show was once considered essential television. Digging out the NBC high school sitcom for your kids to watch today isn't advisable, however, as many of the lessons are painfully dated.
Haven't you ever heard of the women's movement?
Well, sure. Put on something cute and move it into the kitchen.
If you want your kids to experience cool high school entertainment, just buy them some Archie comics and spare them this horribly out-of-touch television. Walker, Texas Ranger. The fact that Chuck Norris has become a living parody of this character is almost, but not quite, enough to prepare you for a return visit to the unapologetically manly Walker, Texas Ranger. While Norris is clearly a skilled martial artist, he struggles with pretty much everything else asked of him here. And he's not the only one.
And how you doing, little partner?
Fine. And it's little visitor now. Atawoyoli's how you say it in Cherokee.
Oh, well, pardon my French, but I'll be damned.
Walker told me I have AIDS.
How bad is Walker, Texas Ranger? One of Conan O'Brien's most beloved comedy routines is simply playing clips from the show. That about says it all.
My Walker, Texas Ranger lever right here. Let's give it a shot and see how it works.
Amigo.
Baywatch. At its height, Baywatch was one of America's most highly coveted exports, commanding over 1 billion weekly viewers from more than 148 countries. But looking back at the show today, it's plain to see that the skin routinely on display was literally the only appeal. With nowhere near enough drama to warrant an hour-long slot, Baywatch fills the gaps with copious amounts of running, normally presented in slow motion, to not only capture the females' bouncing chests in all their glory, but to make up for the fact that there isn't much else going on. Critics at the time hated it. It may have taken nearly 2 decades, but fans are finally catching up. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.